Earlier this week, Ariel Helwani reported that Conor McGregor will return at International Fight Week in July. Conor has confirmed that to be true. He posted this to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "The rumors are true. Mr. Confidence returns to Safe Fighting again. Call your grandma. Nanny, we did it. Watch and pay me. You pay me. You fat Irish prick, you don't have my money, I put your brain to sleep. See yous in the casinos after. The Mac loves yous all. I got love for yous all. It's an honor. It's light work. It's easy. For life and eternity, it's McGregor. Big money Mac Daddy McGregor. I expect fawning of the highest for life. I do this fight game easy peasy. The sound of my shots off the head go bing in green dot laser form. Go BHB. Watch Divine Magic when I fight. Hey Paramount, see you guys soon, I'm excited. And born ready, the notorious Conor McGregor." Islam Makhachev's manager Ali Abdelaziz claims Islam was asleep when they received a call from the UFC about a potential fight with Ilia Topuria at the White House. According to Ali, the offer was pulled before he could even speak to Islam, alleging that Topuria asked for too much money and was unwilling to vacate the lightweight title. He also added that Islam already has a fight booked for this summer. In an interview with TMZ Sports, Ali said, "This is what happened exactly. I got called for Ilia to fight Islam. It was middle of the day. Islam was sleeping. I was excited about it. After that, I got a call. They said, never mind, it's not gonna happen. Before I even talk with Islam. What I know, there's so many ways to turn down a fight. I can say I'm gonna fight Francis Ngannou, give me 50 million. I don't blame anyone for trying to make the most money they can, but in a way, does Ilia really want it? Because if he won it, two things need to happen. He has to vacate his lightweight title. I don't think he wanted to do that. And he wanted to be paid a lot of money. I can't knock him down for wanting a lot of money, but also, I can say certain kind of numbers to turn the UFC off. In reality, I didn't even get to Islam. After that, Islam got offered a different fight at welterweight to be the main event. Islam said, hey, let's do this in July. He has some stuff going on. Dana, speak about it. I can tell you this. If this fight was offered in June and Islam had one leg, he would have took the fight. Islam already have a fight in the summer. He have a welterweight #1 contender match against someone. It's a done deal already. UFC will announce it probably soon. I think if Ilia didn't take the Justin fight, he may have got vacated and Justin would fight Arman Tsarukyan. Colby Covington says he's no longer getting involved in politics, calling it a dirty game where loyalty is never rewarded. In an interview with Bloody Elbow, Colby said, "You know I love Trump, he's a great guy, but I'm not really so politically. I think the future you won't see me campaigning. You won't see me actively involved in politics. I don't want to be in it. I think it's a dirty game, and I think that loyalty is never rewarded. I don't really want to be a part of it anymore. My dream before, I was like, I want to be the governor of Florida. I want to be the senator. I want to be a congressman. Now I'm like, nah, I want to do business with real American beer. I want to be an RAF. I just want to mind my own business in peace. I don't want to be in that dirty game." Colby Covington also recently changed his stance on the UFC. Despite always referring to himself as a company man, that tone appears to have shifted after he was left off the White House card. In an interview with Submission Radio, Colby said, "They just have me sitting around for the last 14 months doing nothing. They haven't offered me one f***ing fight. I tried to go wrestle Arman and they said no. How does that make sense? We're independent contractors. They're treating me unfairly. I'm sick of it. They've done me dirty my whole career." Daniel Cormier and Ben Askren reacted to Colby's comments. Askren pointed to inactivity as a key factor, while also suggesting that Colby may be overestimating his value to the UFC.
In terms of being the guy that was always the biggest, yes, he was always the biggest advocate to the company. Now he seems not, and you're right. Most times when that happens is you breaking up with someone and you just can say nothing but negative about them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if I don't blame the UFC, but this is a guy who's not been an active fighter. He fought, I've just pulled up his record. He fought one time in 2020, one time in 21, one time in 22, one time in 23, one time in 24, 0 times in 25.
No, he fought last year. He fought Joaquin Buckley. Was that in 24?
That was December 24, wow. And then he fought Leon Edwards December of 23. So, like, this is a guy who's fought less than one time per year for the last, well, that was 2020. That's the last 6 years.
Was he overvaluing? Was he overvaluing himself? Because those Kamaru Usman fights were big fights. Was he overvaluing himself? Like his idea of who he was to the product was bigger than it actually was?
Yeah. So the Usman fights were 19 and 21. He fought him in 2019 and then 2021.
Wow.
So it is quite a while ago. And when you don't stay active, when it's less than one fight per year in the division, I mean, people were complaining because he's somehow still ranked in the division. But yeah, it is one of those things where I feel like you got to keep fighting to be relevant. And he hasn't really kept fighting. And maybe it is one of those things where, and man, I don't know if you want to get into the whole discussion of how much UFC fighters get paid. I kind of made a video about it, and I can see both sides of the equation, but I think this one is where maybe Colby is getting, in his contract, it's a big number, and the UFC doesn't think he's worth that, and then that's why.
Charles Oliveira returned to his hometown with the BMF belt and was welcomed with a parade. Eddie Hearn had a message for Dana White. The two have been going back and forth ever since Dana launched Zuffa Boxing, signing Conor Ben, and Eddie signed Tom Aspinall to Matchroom Talent Agency. Both have hinted that they'd be open to boxing each other someday. Hearn posted footage of himself hitting the speed bag, saying, "Dana, I'm coming for you."
Dana. Coming for you.
Jean Silva appeared on the Ariel Helwani show yesterday and explained why he believes he deserves the next featherweight title shot over Movsar Evloev, despite Evloev's recent victory over Lerone Murphy. Silva also says that if he does get the title shot and Alexander Volkanovski beats him, he'll leave the UFC.
Everton, God bless you. You got all that? That might have been the longest answer. God bless you. I can't wait to hear the answer here.
So I think it's really a dangerous game to let somebody like Movsar to be a champion in the league, because you got to think about it. The whole thing revolves around the whole section there revolves around the champion. Like the fights is all about the champion, who's going to have the next chance to be the champion. And out of all of these fights that he has, Movsar has got like 10 or 11 cancellations, I think, at this point. Mm-hmm. And that just wouldn't look good. You know what I'm saying? I think if you look at it, I actually do have all the components, the formula for what a UFC champion should be. This is more than just a fighting championship. This is a sports league. So whoever's there, whoever's in the front, whoever's in the lead, that person's got to be able to bring the viewership. You got to be able to promote the event. And I think it's partly about that. It's about audience interest. You have to really make sure that you're bringing this in. I don't think I personally wouldn't sign up for Paramount to just to watch Movsar's fight for the belt. I don't think nobody should do that, because you just don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of it, you talk about experience, you talk about history, whatever it is. I'm the guy who actually brings it in. I'm the name out there. There's no other name that could do it as well as I could. I give merit to all the guys who've been there, the guys who are there now. But push comes to shove, that's what it's got to be. You got to be able to bring the viewership. The ESPN used to bring $250 million to pay $250 for UFC. Now Paramount's paying $1.1 million. You got to make sure that money is well spent. You got to make sure that you're bringing the interest to the viewership. You generate that interest, and I think I can do that. And I think if I get Volkanovski, between everything that happens pre-fight until my message to Volkanov, let's just stop all the BS. Let's think straight about it. Let's go in. Let's exchange some strikes. And I'll say more. If you win, if Volkanov wins, I'll leave the UFC. That's what I'll say. I've been a fan, but you know what? Now it's time for it, and I'm willing to face
Wow.
Jorge Masvidal thinks Kamaru Usman is the only fighter in the welterweight division who can beat Islam Makhachev.
I can see him fighting for the title, you know, and he's probably also, I would say, Makhachev. That's the only guy I want to see him fight.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have to make Makhachev strike, and I always want to see, you know, a whole well-rounded grappling. I just want to see, like in the JDM fight where he took him down, and that's it. You know, JDM's not getting up. Half guard, he's not getting up. You know, and just held him. He's not gonna take Usman down easy, and Usman a ride is not the easiest. You know, on the feet, I give the advantage to Usman as well, and obviously he has a size advantage. So I think if anybody really, I would have to pick one guy to give Makhachev a loss at 170 or amazing fight, it's Usman.
Jiri Prochazka has weighed in on the recent BMF title fight between Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. Oliveira secured a unanimous decision victory using a grappling-heavy game plan, which sparked backlash from fans and fighters. Jiri appears to agree with that criticism, believing the BMF title should be about standing in the center and trading shots.
Would you like one day to fight for a light heavyweight BMF belt?
Man, I don't know why, but maybe because today interview, but I thought about that today. I thought about that, and I just got an idea. And guys, I think the BMF title will win the guy who will stay in the center of the octagon, and like Max Holloway just showed with the hand to the center and stay there, and all the rounds, all the time, just this pure violence, pure BMF.
Israel Adesanya will face Joe Pyfer this weekend at UFC Seattle. In an interview with ESPN, Izzy called Khamzat Chimaev out for his inactivity as middleweight champion.
What do you mean by some of the things you've done for the game have been underappreciated?
Okay, I mean, look at the middleweight division now. You know, Khamzat was a very active guy coming up, smoking everybody, fighting multiple times. I think twice in a month even at one point. And now that he's champion, I'm not sure what the deal is. Is it visa issues? Is it injuries? I'm not sure. But now he's got a fight coming up. But you know, the last active champion was me. You know, the last guy who put on the line, regardless, every time called out the best was me. So yeah, that's one thing I can say that people didn't appreciate till, even I didn't appreciate till now that I'm here watching it. And I'm like, damn, this game is slow and just stuck without me. So yeah, that, and I'm sure there's other things as well, but that's one thing I can say that people didn't appreciate, you know, even I might not have appreciated, was how active I was and how much I gave to the game while I was here, or while I was holding the belt.
Alex Pereira had a message for Israel Adesanya ahead of Izzy's fight against Joe Pyfer this weekend. Alex posted the clip of Izzy knocking him out on Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "Saturday is a fight night once again. Much respect to Israel Adesanya. We've shared the octagon and moments that became part of my journey. That loss taught me a lot. It pushed me to evolve not only as a fighter, but as a man. I grew, matured, and used it as fuel to reach a higher level in the sport and in life. Regardless of rivalry, I know what it means to step in there. The years of work, the pressure, the sacrifice. That's why I wish you a great fight. Go in focused and show your best. We keep evolving. See you at the top. Shama." Izzy left a comment on the post. He wrote Shama ×3 with a bunch of fire emojis. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to the footage of Paddy Pimblett roasting his teammate for gelling his hair. It's from John Gotti sent me. It says, "Paddy roasting that guy's hair when he looks like a time-traveled medieval corn farmer is wild, man." The second one's from Solo696. It says, "I'm kinda surprised, but this Netflix card is looking interesting. UFC is holding people hostage. Dustin not being allowed to box even though he retired from MMA." And the final one's from Moxsun number 16. It's in reference to Jorge Masvidal saying the UFC told him he has a big fight in the works. It said it has to be Leon versus Masvidal. I don't know what could be bigger at the moment. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.